Good morning and welcome to Stretford, Paddock. This is your paper talk. I am Casey. And not to sound like a broken record, a Travis one in particular, but why does it always rain on me? Jay had wonderful sunshine yesterday and we are here in rainy Manchester. It's pouring it down. Skaman, our camera operator, is struggling to hold on to an umbrella at this moment in time, but let's go through the news so we can get out of this rain and you can obviously enjoy your morning chatter. So with your warm inside, grab a hot drink, sit down in the nice, cool air. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Not in the rain, basically. And let's go through it with our first story, which is about the Dutchman, the 23-year-old Dutchman, Donny van der Beek. Now, according to Sky Sports, Donny van der Beek is available for 40 million euros and is open to a move to the Premier League. So obviously, now this is an added thing on Van der Sar, who said a couple of months ago that Van der Beek would be available for sale this season, and if he was given a reasonable amount of money, or Ajax were given a reasonable amount of money. Now, Van der Beek is cheaper than some of the other options we've been touted with, and obviously has apparently been a reported target for us. He'd be cheaper than Grealish, who has been valued at about double that, about £70 million, and David Brooks, who's been valued at about £40 million. He's got a lot of experience in the Champions League, obviously part of that Ajax team that 2 years ago, or was it last year, made such a good, great waves in the competition. 34 games this season, 14 goals, 7 assists. Really an all-round midfielder, can play in the CDM position, can play in the centre mid position, can play in the cam position. He's sort of the player that you want in your team because he's very versatile. He can carry the ball forward. He's what we've been looking for. He'd be very good as a rotation option for Fernandes. He'd be very good as a rotation option for Pogba. Yeah, he's the sort of player we should be looking at, and I don't know why United haven't made any more concrete offers, because we've obviously heard that there's obviously quite a few Premier League clubs that could be interested in. Liverpool are looking for a midfielder as well. But in other reports, Ronald Koeman is very interested in bringing the Dutchman into Barcelona. Obviously worked with him when he was part of the Dutch team before he moved to Barcelona. And any possible deal could see Luis Suarez return to Ajax after a very long spell away. That could obviously reduce the price, or it could be separate. I don't know. We'll have to see. But Van der Beek is open to the Premier League, and I think United should make a bid. So that's what the news is on that. Moving on to another Van. See, segues. We have the Van Gaal comments that were reported in 442. Now, if you want to go read that report, it's a very good interview. Van Gaal's always been very open. He's always been willing to talk. We saw that in his press conferences. He's obviously now called this up with the interview. Now, in this interview, he's basically told everything. Apparently, Spurs were very interested in signing him before he came to United, and he said that if Spurs had come in sooner with a more concrete offer, he would have probably signed for Spurs. He also says that he thought Liverpool were interested in him. Apparently, Liverpool representatives came out to his house in Portugal, and afterwards, he didn't hear anything back. So, him signing for United could have actually been avoided. For some people, could have said it could have been avoided. But apparently during his time at United, he had quite a lot of targets. He's listed them off. Basically, it sounds like, that Arsenal list that you see sometimes of people we could have signed. Well, here's one that just Van Gaal could have signed. He apparently he wanted Sadio Mane, which is probably one of the more well-known ones. We apparently made a bid for him before he went to Liverpool. He wanted N'Golo Kante. He wanted Riyad Mahrez. Apparently, Neymar was interested. He wanted Thomas Müller, he wanted Lewandowski, he wanted Mats Hummels, he wanted Sergio Ramos. Basically, if he was a good player in the last 5 to 6 years, Van Gaal wanted him at United, and it would have probably been a very different team if he got all those signings. But really, were we going to get all those signings? Probably not. It's one of those ones where it's like, what would be your dream team of good players? A lot of them would probably be included in what Van Gaal has said. But yeah, that's the sort of thing that he's been saying. He said that apparently his wife knew that he was going to get sacked before he got sacked. That was because he said, she'd heard these conversations before. And yeah, I mean, leave in the comments, do you think Van Gaal could have got more time? I personally don't think he should have done. I think that during that time with Van Gaal, even if we got those signings, it was some of the worst football I think I've seen played at United since Ferguson left. And that is saying something, to say that some of the terrible football we got under Moyes and Mourinho, passing around the back, not really getting a shot on target. I think there was one goal where I was like, Van Gaal's football actually might work, and that was Martial, that counter-attack where we pinged it up the pitch in about 5 passes, and Martial slotted it top corner. But other than that, I don't personally think so. But in the comments, let me know, do you think Van Gaal could have got more times? Do you think if he got those signings that he's been saying, we would have done better? I mean, I think personally, yeah, but well, just let us know. Let us know. Well, moving on, we're going to go for it's a trio. It's a tale of 3 centre-backs. Now let's go through it. Harry Maguire update. Harry Maguire, his trial is set to begin today in Greece. He does not have to appear at the trial. The trial is going to be conducted without Harry Maguire there. He still thinks that he still hopes that he can play for England in the international break. I'm just watching Skaman in the background fight an umbrella. It's quite fantastic. I wish you could see this. But apparently, lawyer, let's just get his name up because I just want to get this right for everyone here. A lawyer based in Greece of Zanis Panayotopoulos, we'll go with that. He believes that the charges are now going to be classed as misdemeanors, for which the highest sentence is around 5 years, though it's most likely that it will involve a heavy fine instead for Harry Maguire. Maguire has obviously denied all charges that is brought against him of aggravated assault and attempted to bribe an official included. It seems to be that they're very confident that Maguire will avoid a jail sentence from this. I think it will probably be a fine. It seems to be a lot of the reports that are coming out that it was provoked, it could have been self-defense, everything. We probably may never get the full story, but it may come out the full story soon. It's kind of one of those things where you're like, will we ever know what really happened in Mykonos? It sounds like what happens in Mykonos stays in Mykonos, that sort of thing. But moving on to his defensive partner, he's also been in the news involving crime, but for stopping it. Victor Lindelof apparently chased down a man who stole a 90-year-old woman's purse, and according to reports in Sports Blader, he held on to the suspect until the police arrived. Obviously, on the flip side there, Victor Lindelof doing just being a good guy. I mean, I think we've already said this. I mean, like, as what everyone says about him playing on the pitch, he's always seemed like a nice guy, and obviously he's showing it there by stopping a reported robbery. Now, finally, onto the last centre-back of the trio, bringing it full circle back to transfers, and that is Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling is apparently Roma are all in on Chris Smalling. They want to sign him. Paulo Fonseca really wants him from his side. Chris Smalling, it's all up to Chris Smalling now. Obviously, they've upped their bid. We reported that last week to what United were offering, and it's all up to whether Chris Smalling wants to return to Italy. We've had a couple of reports linking him with other teams. Newcastle apparently reportedly interested in signing the centre-back, and I think he would be a good signing for them. Obviously, during Roma, he was quite lauded for his defensive abilities. He showed what he was good at under Van Gaal. He was very good in the interceptions, reading the game. I don't think he'll have a place at United. I think we need to bring in another centre-back, which we obviously haven't heard about yet. Gabriel is obviously going to Arsenal. He's had the here we go. He's had his 5-year medicals, all that sort of stuff. He's going to Arsenal, so another centre-back is going to have to be targeted. But I don't think Chris Smalling has a future at Manchester United. If he does, it's going to be surprising. But at this moment in time, I don't think he will. Who do you think we should sign at centre-back? Obviously now Gabriel is out of the picture. Who do you think should be the centre-back signing that United aim for in this window? And literally as I've finished speaking, it has just stopped raining, so that's great. We get to walk back to the tram in, well, wind and cold, but not rain, so that's good. Later on we'll have the Tier 1 transfer podcast with Ronaldo and Jay. Obviously, they'll build more on all this news we've been talking about today. They'll be giving you all the top news, all the important transfer, everything you want to hear, and they have a fantastic guest for you. So make sure you check that out. Again, I've been Casey. This has been Stretford Paddock, and this has been your morning paper talk. See you next time.